here, that's where I live. That's my little Isaac, and that's my little Rainbow Tower. This is where I live on the server, but we will not be looking at this particular area on this particular evening. Oh no, we're going to be doing something quite a bit different. No, instead, today, we are going to follow the path out this way. We're going to go out here to this oh so wonderfully constructed... Oh, look at that, it just turned night magically. That's just amazing. This magically, I can't see, of course, where I'm aiming because I'm using using that, but okay. I'm going to have to, unfortunately, come back onto here. All right. We are going to go across this bridge, and we are going to go see what we are seeing today. I hope you guys are excited, because I know I am. Here we go. Across the way. There we go. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, those are indeed fireworks that we added in, because why would you cross a bridge boringly on a cart when you could do it with automated fireworks? Automated fireworks are awesome! And welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to the arena of tomorrow! Well, actually, it's the arena of today. And these fine people right here are going to be our competitors in the arena. And that is enough. Seriously, guys. Jeez, you're going to burn me down. You give guys a few fireworks, and they just go ridiculous. Starwind clearly doesn't listen very well. Or any of them, for that matter. Anyway, today on the server, we have Mulderman, who's our administrator, but he's playing fair today. We have Shaber, who people would know better as Plastic Alan. We have Starwind 3437. We have Lil Pimp T, who people would know better as Lears. And Kuma Gaming, who people would know as Kuma Rage, and Quizzy, who goes by Enix, and on YouTube by Ohio Rush Baby. And of course, my moderator, King Cool 2099. Say hello, King Cool.
We
That was the best fireworks ever. Anyway, how about we go to a tour of the Bry Wheel Arena? First things first, that's the VIP section, so these losers don't get to go over there. No,
we
instead, well, actually, technically he can. Instead, we're going to go this way to the Gladiator section and show you what is going on in this wonderful, wonderful land of ours. See, Gladiator room. Ooh, fancy, fancy. Over here, we've got some free meat for everybody, and we got wooden swords, because that's what you get to start with. We got lots of dice. That's how these fine gentlemen got their armor on. And we have a get equipped with leather armor, where you can just hop in here if you have no... well, actually, why don't I just show you? I'll just quickly click this off, and I will go deer. And I'll go, whoop, and I'm equipped with leather armor. And I'm now a brown chode. Isn't that awesome? Yeehaw! Yeah, not really. Chocolate rain? I don't know about that. I'm going to have to turn this bag off if they're going to keep talking silly pants like this. But anyway, let's get this off here because I don't need to wear that. I need my nice iron armor that's really already kind of beat up. But it is what it is. Over here, this is just the chest where the competitors can dump their belongings. And here's everyone getting together for the pre-arena match orgy. So, you know, that's good. That's good. You'll notice that Shaber thinks he's brisulph. That's adorable, Plastic Alan. You will never be brisulph because you're already funnier than me. But still, it is what it is. Here's the training area. All the nice people can train their way through fighting wither skeletons and creepers. And, of course, zombies. Yeah. This thing right here, this is the shame box. What's the shame box? Well, we might find out, but we'll have to wait and see what everyone does. Through this door is, in fact, the arena floor. But we're not going into the arena floor just yet. No, we'll let them go into the arena floor. That's not where VIPs, such as myself, will go. No, we're going to go tour around here real quick and just see what we got. And I am using a mod so you can see through the glass nice and clear. And this is our ocean that is massively huge. Lears' place is somewhere that direction, 10 kilometers this way and 10 kilometers that way. Because he's a crazy man and wants to live in the ocean in a mushroom biome. And this is where the spectators go, as you can see. And this is your first look at the arena. Got some, this is where everyone kind of starts over here. Over here is where the monsters are going to pop out of. And we are going to keep track of who can score the most. And there's also ways for them to buy upgrades to their equipment. They're all starting with leather armor and wooden swords. Now, the important thing to remember is that the winner's not going to be determined by total points. Oh, Lord Misfit has joined the game. I have to check if he's going to be competing. I actually gave him a bed just in case he's competing today. We'll have to see what he has to say. Join us in the Thunderdome. Yes, indeed. And here is, actually, I'm sorry. Here is the equipment I will be using today. These, if you're not aware, are what we call monster eggs. These will allow us to do hilarious things by, well, setting them up to fail awfully. Because we're awful people. That's what we do. One last thing to show you on the stream here of the arena before we get ready to actually go over the rules with everyone here. They've already heard the rules, and if they don't remember them, well, that's their own problem, because I've covered with them twice. If you ever were, say we actually allowed a lot of people in here to watch the matches, you could get free beverages, like water and an empty bottle. At least someone's recycling. It's good to see when someone is recycling. And over here we got some chicken. So, I mean, water and chicken. You know, that's the same thing I think Chris Benoit had before he, you know, killed his wife and kids. So. And remember, guys, we're always glad to have new members of the server. It's a pretty cheap server to be a member of, and we would love to have some fresh blood. And right here, at the throne, will be our man, King Cool. He is, in fact, our king, and he's cool, and he's 2099, which I assume is his IQ.
Oh, you think that the cold is your ally.
Oh, God, he's
You adopted the cold. I was born in it. Molded by it. I didn't feel the heat till I was only a man. By then, there was nothing to me but scorching or something. I don't know.
So anyway, guys, I should run down the rules for you, and then I'm going to get King Cool to run down the point system, because the point system is how people do upgrades. And we have a whole thing here we're going to run over this as well, all of these little things here. So, first things first, here's the rules of the arena for all the combatants. Rule number 1 is all combatants will fight the mobs to the death. Of course, that's not completely true, as you'll soon see, necessarily. Rule 2, after each wave, points can be used to purchase improvements. Rule 3, each death in the arena will result in a 10-point penalty, and this will be administered after the wave ends. So when someone dies, I will actually go over there, and you will get to witness what anyone who died is getting penalized for. You'll see how that's done. It's pretty neat. Rule 4, if a combatant dies, they may use a back warp command to re-enter the arena immediately. Now, you might say, why would you want to re-enter the arena with no equipment whatsoever? Well, there's a good reason for that. We will get to that in Rule 5. But first, for the rest of Rule 4, otherwise, they are out until the next wave, and then they will return with leather armor and a wooden sword, just like they're starting with. And that's harsh. You don't want to die. And incidentally, player versus player is disabled, so they will not be able to sabotage one another like jackasses. Their focus is going to be monster kills. Or mob kills, I should say. Rule number 5, anything a combatant drops is fair game for another combatant to pick up and use. So, say you have an enchanted breastplate on, and you died. Someone picks it up, they can wear your Protection 2 breastplate. And I said breast a couple times, so King Cool, you should be laughing. Honestly. There we go. Much
I just saw the end of Hangover 3.
Nice. And then Rule 6, during any wave, I'll actually show you this, if I can. Of course, I had to take the F1 off because they were talking too much, the silly men. Rule number 6, during any wave, a combatant may hit the button over the entry door to escape. Once a combatant has left the arena, though, they are bound by honor to stay out until the next wave. So they're going to come in here when each round starts. They can hit this button and get out. Say they're really hurt or they just don't want to fight the rest of that wave, they can take off. However, I'm hoping that we won't have a lot of cowards, because I'm pretty sure there will be news reports done about how cowardly they are. That's what I've heard the rumor of anyway. We'll have to see how that turns out. Alright, so I mentioned the thing about the points and upgrading. Well, King Cool, since you are aware the points are labeled up for what you can get, you can run down the points and how it'll work for them real quick.
Okay, sure. I had to reopen Firefox just because I was like, oh, I do know. Oh, yes, sure, I do. For instance, you know, an iron helmet or an iron pair of boots will run you 10 points, which means you have to kill 10 enemies to get enough points to gain that. Oh, apparently it's raining. Good. Let the rain fall. Or 20 points for a breastplate or a pair of pants. And I think these are enchanted, correct? For an enchanting thing, you
Yes,
can spend points on those.
yeah,
Okay.
once you have bought a better item, or you could technically, enchant your leather armor, but that would be a pretty silly use of points
That
in
would
my
be a silly
opinion.
use of enchanting.
Yeah.
So you can enchant them for the
20
same
points.
cost.
Yeah. And you can enchant any piece of armor twice if you want. We're only allowing you to enchant them twice, though. So, like, what would happen is you would trade that in, and then our admin would give you a piece that's already enchanted. That's how we're going to run
Okay. I
things.
was a little curious how that worked.
Yeah.
You can also buy a bow for 10 points, or 10 arrows for 10 points, or 20 points for 25 arrows. And I gotta tell you, 1 point for 1 arrow, holy moly.
It's expensive.
Yes. Sheesh, this is like friggin' Saudi Arabia over
Yeah,
here,
there's a
where
reason.
arrows are really expensive.
Well, based on how we tested, arrows aren't going to be really useful. You want to be meleeing like a crazy man because you're not going to get enough kills and you're going to get overwhelmed. So it's probably a bad idea. And that's it for the points, I believe. We simplified greatly what we were doing for this round because this is just a first time trying out the arena and that. And if it works really well and if it's popular, we'll work on perfecting it for a future broadcast. What I'm doing right now is I'm just going to simply load it up here. So hopefully they're not watching and cheating because that would make them awful, awful people.
Yes. If you guys are, they're in their own Skype call, which they hopefully will be posting to their own video, which I think would be cool.
Yes,
But
I
hopefully they're not watching
believe
these have to be loaded manually. So.
Yeah, so in between rounds, I'm going to be doing this now. See, right here, say he only wanted to work some of them, he'd throw this switch or that switch, but we're doing full controls with this one right here. And each... King Cool sucks. That's not nice.
Aww.
And they are listening.
I guess I'll go home.
Well, Alan's fired. Whenever he throws the switch forward and then back, it will release... all those dispensers will spit out a monster. And we're going to do that until no more monsters pop out, and then we're just going to watch the carnage and the points. Now, you may be saying, how are we going to track points? That's a good question. Let's hit that, and let's hit that. Now, how do I get this to work? Do a countdown before we enter, of course. Now, I am going to need to do something real quick here, just make sure this is working.
They're asking if I'm actually cool or a king. Well, I got a throne.
Can you not see it? Misfit. There we go. All right. You see how Misfit killed the sheep? Do you see right now on the side of my screen where it says kills Lord Misfit 1? This is how we're keeping track of kills. Spectator is kicking their ass. Ah, man. So good. So this is how we're keeping track of points, guys. Now, you may be saying, how are we going to do how are we going to do the other stuff? Well, we'll get to that. But we're about ready to do this. Let's reset the scoreboard.